the first and second defendants.
For the fourth respondent?
Yes, the
first and second
defendants, that is...
No, this can only be respondents because this was by way of a constitutional petition.
Now, that is how they have been named in the application.
Or in the application. First and second
defendants, that is His Excellency the Governor, Simba Arati, that is the first defendant.
Yes.
And the second defendant, that is the head.
Okay, I'll just put them as they are.
Yes, and I do confirm they are also present before the court. Okay. That's all now on our team.
Who else in the matter? Yes, Mr. Anyoka, you are for?
I'm for the third respondent.
For the third respondent. I thought you finalized the matter.
Yes, good morning, Your Lordship.
Morning once again, Mr. Maeche.
Yes. The petitioner in this matter
yes.
did make an application to this court.
Yes. I've seen the application.
Yes.
And the application is for leave to institute contempt proceedings. Correct?
We did not ask for leave.
Yes.
But we have just put in application for contempt proceedings against His Excellency the Governor, H.E Simba Arati for Kisii County, and the Acting County Secretary, Mr. Robert Mbasa.
Where is the substantive county secretary? The county secretary who used to be here is the one now in Kisii.
I think he is no longer no longer the county secretary of
there
is county.
Okay.
I think that is why they appointed an acting secretary.
Sawa. Where is the acting county secretary?
At 5:23 a.m.
A.m.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yes.
That was via WhatsApp.
By email. Yes. So that we really tried our best to put in a holding response, which we are still in the process of formally filing, and even serving all the other parties, so that in the circumstances, my prayer for today, since we are coming for directions, I will be praying that we be given 14 days.
So your application is dated, Mr. Maeche?
Yes, the application is dated 3rd March 2024, Your Lordship.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can just have a seat, Mr. Oginga. First of all, I want to thank all of you, all the parties in this case, including Your Excellency, because this matter, this petition, when this constitutional petition was brought to court, you all agree with me, there were ugly scenes at Keroka. And Mr. Bosota is on record as having told the court when all of you are putting in, when you are highlighting the written submissions, that ever since the matter was brought to court, there has been peace at Keroka. Am I right, Mr. Bosota? That those people who are fighting there downed their stones and every other tool to give peace a chance. I'm also glad that Your Excellency, Honorable Simba Arati, the Governor for Kisii, you found time to come to court in response to the court orders, meaning that you are ready to abide by the orders of the court and that you respect the court as a citizen of Kenya. And that's what is expected of all of us, and particularly for those of us who are state officers. And that's commendable of you. When I was delivering the judgment, your advocates told me that you are not available. Your counterpart here attended court that day. An apology was given on your behalf. And as a sign of good gesture and the fact that the two counties are ready to work together and ensure that there is service delivery to the Abagusi community that occupies the two counties. After this, can you make a courtesy call to His Excellency, the Governor of Nyamira? I hope he's available, Mr. Nyambane. If he's not in office, get him from wherever he is. Let the two of them have a cup of tea. Hostility in this region will not help anybody. At all, at all, at all. If I had powers, unfortunately, and thank God that I don't have it, I would merge the two counties so that we do not have a boundary dispute at all. But would you be happy if I merge the two counties, Your Excellency? Unfortunately for you, I do not have the powers. Secondly, I also need to tell you, no amount of votes is equal to the life of one Kisi or any other community at Keroka. If anything were to happen and the two counties are on fire, Your Excellency and myself and the likes of Mr. Morara and Mr. Maeche, Ms. Bundi, Mr. Uginga, we can all afford a chopper out of this place, correct? But the businessmen at Keroka will either die fighting there or die running away. These are the people we are supposed to serve. And when I was stationed here by Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice of Kenya, I had taken oath to make sure that the Constitution of Kenya is preserved, protected, and implemented. Your Excellency, you took a similar oath. Your advocates also took a similar oath. And now we've got to allow the people of Keroka do business uninterruptedly. And in the judgment, I allowed you, gentlemen, the two of you, with your able counsel and officers, to look at the service agreement, service delivery agreement that had been done. Was it, Mr. Bonuke, in which year? 2013 or 2015? 2014. To see whether it's still workable, so that you can provide the services to the two sides of Keroka jointly, because that's allowed in law. The only thing that is not allowed, fortunately or unfortunately, is joint collection of revenue. The people from Kisi side of Keroka cannot collect revenue on the Nyamira side, and vice versa. So each one has got to limit himself to his lane. Your Excellency, I have no problem with you providing umbrellas with your portrait and your party logo. I wish you could also extend that to other counties like Muranga, Tana River, and the rest. But you have a right to do so. But if they would cause some breach of peace, if they could cause some breach of peace, we can we can temporarily shelf the idea. They are good because those people did not have umbrellas. Those traders did not have those big umbrellas to put their wares under. And they did a good thing. And I want the traders there not to see the umbrellas as a sign of incitement. Just use the umbrellas. Don't even look at the portrait that is there. He's a handsome man, but forget about it. Am I right, Ms. Bundi and Ms. Moeche? This man is, and he's smart. So if it were to cause any breach of peace, we could suspend that for the time being, or just provide umbrellas that do not have logos and portraits. That's one thing we need to do. Then when it comes to the collection of revenue, let's allow the officers from each side stick to their lanes, because there is also accountability. If we allow anybody to collect revenue from anywhere, the problem the two governors are going to face is that that money may not even reach you. And I want to believe that before this matter came before me, the people who are collecting revenue were not genuine, and they were not remitting this revenue to you people. So that's the confusion we can have. And then, because people will say, okay, we collected from only this side, so this is what we are remitting, a portion of it. The other problem is this. Some people will say, we paid to the other county, so we are not paying again. And those people have not paid. They have not paid, but they want to pretend that they are paid to the officers from the other county. So I don't intend even to punish anybody for contempt. I would want to apply grace and forgive those people who have defied the orders. And the other thing I want to tell you, how many traders are here?
Conferred with the petitioner, he is also agreeing that he is ready to support the two governors to have a cup of tea so that we resolve the issue of Keroka. Secondly, Your Lordship, it is good that you have kept emphasizing, and I implore this court to emphasize that we have the service agreement and we have the issue of revenue collection.
Yes.
And Your Lordship, as you are going to give directions, kindly, maybe I've seen conflicting information, especially there is an application which is not before this court, but I don't want to go into it, that the judgment from this court gave, and I think even from the response of the preliminary objection from Kisii County mentions that there is some ambiguity in the judgment that you issued concerning the issue of service delivery and concerning the issue of revenue collection. And I am urging this court, Your Lordship, to make it clear that there was a boundary that was ascertained.
I think you wish to put an
Yes, Mr. Bonuke.
because he's speaking into the application.
Yes, let's not get into the application. I think for the time being, I'll take the wisdom of Mr. Morara and Mr. Ondari. Ondari. And Your Excellency, before I give directions on this, I can't force you on anything, but is it possible for you to sit down with your counterpart and see how you could restore sanity back at Keroka? It's possible. You see now you're in Nyamira and nobody has touched you. I'm sure that your colleague here stays in Kisii.
All these people.
Yes. Because, Mr. Morara, don't get offended with me going into some of these things, because at the end of the day, we are interested in sanity at Keroka. Okay? And that's why I told you, let's now look at the matter as Kenyan citizens. And see, you know, those of us, many people in Nyamira, when they are going to Kisii, they say they are going to town. And Mr. Your Excellency, you agree with me. The brains that are in Nyamira County, we have some of the greatest brains in this country, from this county. I don't want to, the immediate former Chief Justice comes from this county. Judge Bosire comes from this country. Judge Onyancha comes from, the Bonongas all come from this. And several other people come from this place. Kisii the same. And I said when I was delivering this judgment, and I repeat it, that the Abagusi community is a very united community. Very, very united. And maybe this is one of the few instances where they have fought one another. They shouldn't. They shouldn't fight. So as I give directions, Your Excellency, I want you to sit down with your colleague and get even some small team of experts from your counties. Sit down. Go and address the people at Keroka jointly and tell them, fanyeni biashara vile mmekuwa mkifanya, na kila mtu, you allow everybody to collect revenue where they are supposed to collect. Should anybody appeal and succeed on appeal against the judgment I gave, fine, the situation may change. But we were there, the experts came and marked the boundaries. And Mr. Oginga asked for a stay of execution of those orders. I told him, if I stay those orders, then it will mean that nobody knows where the boundary is. So let's have them. Even if my orders will be upset by the Court of Appeal, for the time being, let's observe those boundaries and we allow our people to do business in peace. Because at the end of the day, if we do not allow them to do business and take bread at home, then they'll come to you begging, which is not, in our Kisii customs, that's not something that we hate. It's not something that is commendable. We tell people, go and work hard. If you don't work, you don't eat. So can we agree on that? And then I give direction. In fact, Mr. Morara, to be very honest, if this thing works, we do not even need to hear the application or the preliminary objections. Because at the end of the day, what you and me want is when we watch our TVs in the evening, we do not see any ugly scene at Keroka. I don't want phone calls. Oh, you are the judge of Nyamira, what is this that is happening at Keroka? You also get calls of that nature from all people from all walks of life. We want Nyamira and Kisii to be leading example where people can do business quietly, peacefully, revenue can be collected without any stone throwing. I don't know why you people adopted this idea of stone throwing. It is not in the Kisii culture. So I'll not say no. So can we agree that you file your papers, all of you file your papers, but in the meantime, yes, you can have a seat, Your Excellency. In the meantime, the two governors will sit and agree. In fact, not anything to agree because the judgment is there. Just tell your people to adhere to the judgment, because once a judgment has been made, it takes force immediately, unless and until it has been overturned by a higher court. So for the time being, the judgment I give is the status quo. Let's observe it. Let's observe it. And at the end of the day, we shall get the blessings of these people, and we shall get their votes. That I can assure you. Is that agreeable to all council?
Yes, yes, my lord.
Thank you.
We are agreeable the fact that we are going to talk. Hiyo kitu ingine is going to impose something.
How much time do you require, Mr. Your Excellency, to meet your colleague? Of course, after this, utaenda uangalie, upige hodi kule kwake.
It's possible you have met him today in his office actually, but again, we give ourselves 2-3 weeks.
Yes.
I'm sure that we can be able to.
You go and agree on a date you can meet.
Yes.
I know most of you visit Nairobi almost every day. You have homes there on Nakuru. I would propose that you meet outside this place so that your followers don't follow you and start hailing you and heckling the other. You meet like these eminent kisses who met in Nairobi. Was it at Nairobi Club in 2014 and came up with a solution. Learn now to act together. And you know, as a leader, at times you may even have to disregard what your people are telling you for the sake of a better solution to the whole issue. So I'd rather you meet in a neutral place where even the Moraras are not even aware. The Moraras and the Dingas are not aware.
My only owner property in Keroka, so it's me who's really hard.
Is it?
Yes, with all that.
And when the stones are being thrown at each other, you suffer more.
I suffer more.
Yes. So you be happy when the two meet and agree. Yes. Even without technicalities. Yes. So you need 2-3 weeks. But today utaenda huko kwa gavana. Na naomba mashabiki wetu tafadhali, our voters, tusiwafuate. Hawa ni waheshimiwa because unaona wafuasi wa mheshimiwa Simba Arati wakionekana pale wanaenda hivi wanaimba nyimbo ama hata kama hata kuonekana huko, nao wale watafikiria ni vita. So tukae tu wengine mbali, acha mkubwa aende aone mkubwa mwenzake, wakunywe chai. Yes.
Most of the same as continue guiding us. Just one request.
Yes.
That whatever the orders that the court were given last time,
Yes.
the judgment,
Yes.
that the police enforce that court decree
Yes.
as the two governors meet, but the police enforce the overland court decree, Your Honor.
Yes.
In the last time when the activity of the town, when actually police officers from the neighboring police stations,
Yes.
they almost shot at each other.
Yes.
So there's also that continuing.
Police officers,
Yes.
accidentally or
Intentionally.
intentional?
Intentionally, Your Honor.
Yes.
But maybe if you give us guidance, maybe you can either direct either the police commander for Nyamira or the police commander for PC to enforce the orders as they are in the judgment. Your Honor.
That's even more serious. No, Mr. Oginga. Let's not. We are not going to the application. But let me ask you something, Mr. Oginga.
Yes, my lord.
If you don't address that issue, and the two commanders go shoot one another after shooting everybody else,
Your Lordship.
have you read a book called Mfalme Dipode?
Yes,
That
my lord.
if you kill your followers,
Yes.
then whom shall you be leading? So, what are yes, Mr. Oginga.
Yes, my lord, permit me to say this. Now, what the petitioner is simply saying is saying verbatim or standing here, these are factual issues, my lord, so that whatever is alluding to, those are within the purview of the criminal justice system and all that. So that my fear is, my lord, even as you give directions, That there is one prayer they are seeking for enforcement. That is in the application. It is a substantive application, which are issues we need to also respond to, so that my clients will be greatly prejudiced if the court is to give directions and at the same time the petitioner moves well on the feet. Because now this is new information they're raising. So we are being subjected to trial by ambushment.
Okay, on that,
so that in all fairness, yes, my lord.
you know the stone throwers, may be coming from both sides. Okay, so even when we are talking about some people who are not following the court orders, we are not saying they are either from Nyamira or from Kisii. But I also had that in mind, that we need the two commanders, police county commanders, to sit down and see how to enforce these orders and to ensure that there is no infighting at Keroka. Because what I want us to do now is to get the status quo on the ground maintained.
Can I say something, Your Lordship?
Yes, Mr. Bosota.
I really want to address the court, but
No,
Your Lordship,
I'm going against
Yes.
the issue of procedure so that we can get a solution.
yes, Your Lordship,
Yes.
and you being the arbiter,
Yes.
the neutral person, Your Lordship, I want to honorably request that you should not get information from one side.
No, no,
And
no.
believe that information, Your Lordship, to be the gospel truth on the ground. Such an allegation by the petitioner that there was almost an exchange of fire, that is a very serious allegation, which, Your Lordship, you cannot just take it from the back and make a decision on yourself.
You realize I did not even
Yes,
record
yes, yes,
it.
we just
You realize I
deliberating.
did not record it.
But at the same time, Your Lordship, we know very well that when we are giving you tidbits on the information from the ground, we are trying to tilt your mind to make some kind of decision towards one party.
Luckily enough,
I will request Your Lordship that there was Mr. Ondari, he's a senior advocate.
here he is.
Yes, he's here. He's a respected advocate. He gave us a neutral position that let's try and do an ADR on the issue of the decisions you made in Keroka. I will have requested that the court, you just leave it there. I can also stand and say there were people, even on the issue of umbrellas, Your Lordship. You know, the court addressed it, but we didn't want to say something about it.
No, did you hear what I said?
Yes, but
Did
Your
you
Lordship,
say-
you know,
yes.
I didn't want to say that it may have been picked from some other place, because it's an issue they are complaining about in
yes.
this application.
Yes.
But you know, umbrellas, and they will say the same thing you say, even His Excellency can even give the people Muranga. We
Correct.
didn't want to complain about it. But these are issues we want to address so that
Do you think that would influence my
yes, we
my,
don't
my,
want,
my
yes.
mind on the application?
Yes, we don't want Your Lordship to just get a position that maybe you are getting information from the petitioner or from some other place. Kindly, let's follow that procedure where you were heading. That let the two excellencies meet and come up with some kind of ADR. These are the same people in Nyamira, in Keroka right away, I am very sure, and I can tell you, there is calm, given that there is a status quo of some sort, which is still on the ground.
At the moment.
Yes, and it was done by both commanders of Kisii and Nyamira. There's some kind of sort of calm and things are working, Your Lordship. Let's maintain there. Let's not poison your mind so that you can now just try to make and call other parties. At the end of the day, we will not reach a solution. Thank you, Your Lordship.
Thank you, Mr. Bosota. How much time, Your Excellency, you are telling us how much time you need? 2-3 weeks?
Yes, Your Lordship, maybe 21 days.
21 days. So order has been restored.
There is
So they'll be meeting for purposes of maintaining,
Yes.
not restoring.
Yes.
You can have a seat, Your Excellency.
You see which order you give.
Your Excellency, I hope you did not take offense when I talked about the umbrellas.
Your Lordship, when I was coming,
Yes.
I've seen umbrellas here in town,
Yes,
in Nyamira town.
yes,
People, again, the people of Nyamira, you see they're one people.
correct.
It's only
Your umbrellas.
umbrellas.
Your umbrellas.
I've seen them.
Yes.
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 These are one people.
I've always thought so. Mr. Morada, did you take offense when I talked about the issue of umbrellas? You did not. Yes, do you remember I said that, likely that even if His Excellency supplies the umbrellas to the people of Muranga or Nakuru or wherever, it does no harm. And nobody should take that to be incitement. So, Mr. Bosota,
Yeah. I was not. I was just trying to remind the court
yes.
that information is from the other side.
From wherever.
There's somebody
and you see
complaining.
what His Excellency is saying,
Yes,
that he saw some of those umbrellas here in
Yeah, it's quite loved around, Your Lordship. So
Yes.
you can even find them, some of them outside the gate of the court.
Do you know what? Most of my staff here
Yes,
stay in Kisii and they work here.
yes.
You get it? So even some of them could be having the umbrellas.
Even lessons, those lessons.
Even the lessons.
I am very sure. I am very sure they could be around.
Okay.
So they are not a political.
I could be
tool
the
or
only one who's not a
information.
beneficiary. So I don't want that to be blown out of proportion, Mr. Morada, Mr. Bonuke. Yes, because I said, to me, it's not an issue. You see, even when it's brought here, it's not an issue to me. You can, because you are helping those people to have a shade over their heads as they do business. So nobody should take it as if it's meant to go against the orders. And that's why I asked whether we have any traders from Keroka, because those traders at Keroka, you could even be getting wrong information. Ati tumetumwa na gavana wetu. Na sisi tumetumwa na gavana wetu. Hapana. Unless muone gavana ako hapo anawaambia piganeni, chukueni mawe. Unless gavana mwenyewe amekuja hapo, mtu asiseme alitumwa na gavana. Hiyo isiwe hivyo, ati tumetumwa na gavana. Hapana. And that's why, anyway, let me not preempt the application. Let me not preempt the application. But, Wazir, me, I'm talking to you, senior counsel. Sober up your people. Also, sit down with your leaders, agree. You see, you agree on the best way to help the people of Keroka. Keroka is a very, very pivotal trading center of the Abagusi community. Very, very important. So let's not have chaos there. And let's not have a situation where the national government will have to intervene. I told you if I had the powers, I would remove the boundary and merge the two counties. But some people will lose their jobs. And that's not the best. I'm forced to say you are lucky as a community, you have two counties. Whereas there are some communities which do not have a county at all. So to maintain that and to be grateful for that, let's remain united as we've always been. I love the Kisii people. And one of the things I love about them is their unity. And I would not want to get in the middle of you people. Nitaachwa katika. Kwa kikwetu tunasema ukiwaingilia watu ambao wanapendana, utaachwa hapo katikati. Sitaki kuachwa hapo katikati. Nataka nikienda Kisii na kunywa chai bila kuogopa mtu yeyote. Nikiwa Nyamira naenda mahali na kunywa chai bila kuogopa mtu yeyote. And that's the way all of us should work. Akina Nyambana wanaishi Kisii na wanafanya kazi hapa. So this is my order. The court orders that the two governors of Kisii and Nyamira respectively meet within the next 21 days to discuss how to maintain, not to restore because the order is already there, to maintain order and rule of law at Keroka town. In the meantime, also, the two county commanders to also meet and agree on a formula to be applied to offer security to the traders at Keroka town. The respective revenue collectors to also continue collecting revenue on their respective jurisdiction. Is that agreeable to all of you? I can see the people of Nyamira nodding. Can I hear from the people of Kisii? No, I'll not allow you to. Mr. Morana, is that agreeable? That the revenue collectors continue collecting revenue in their respective jurisdictions? Yes. And then the two commanders meet and agree on how to maintain. If they agree that they'll be sending their troops at 6, and then at around 10, when there is calm, or everybody has settled, they go back. If that's what they will agree. If there will also be need for them to be patrolling around during the day, then let them do it. But what I know is that the people of the Abagusi community can work peacefully even without supervision. That bit I know. I've lived in Nyamira, in Kisii land, long enough to study and understand the Abagusi community. And I know they are very, very hard working. And when they mean to do something, they do it. Then the other thing is that the two governors meet within the next 21 days. Then the other thing is that the respondents who have not responded to the application dated 3rd March 2024 to do so within the next 21 days also, or 14?
Yes. 21.
Eh?
That one will be sufficient.
21?
Yes.
Next 21 days. So next mention of the matter
Should mention to know whether they have reached any settlement.
yes.
Then if not, then we see on how to proceed.
Exactly.
Can
So we take a mention date within the next, after 21
After
days.
21
from
days.
Yes. I'm ready, Mr. Angweni. I'm ready even to take a whole day today over this matter. Because I told you one life in Keroka, or one business in Keroka, is very, very important to all of us. Give me my date after 21 days. Is that 10th of April agreeable to you, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, that's convenient.
It's convenient. That 10th of April. We can't get an earlier date. Why don't we get it on, no. Yes, 9th or 10th.
Let's take the 10th of April.
We can try the following if I have a hearing.
Yes, 16th. 16th or 17th?
18.
And we are proposing 23rd.
23rd.
Yes.
Vacation.
I think there is something that week. There should be some.
Easter vacation, they are 2 weeks. When is the Easter vacation?
The Easter vacation is ending around 2nd April.
Let's take 23rd or 24th.
I think there is some
23rd.
conference on that week for our court. That's why the week starting with 15th and ending on 19th.
So then
What about 18? Can we try 18?
18th I have a bench at the High Court.
17th?
Then also 17th I have a matter.
16th?
We can.
Which day?
30th.
30th. It's okay. Yeah, we can still have. On 30th, all of you are agreeable to that. Mr. Nyambani, Ms. Bundi, Mr. Bosota,
30th is okay.
30th.
30th is okay.
Mr. Your Excellency, will you be available on that year?
My Lord, kindly, if you allow, because it will be just a mention, and if we find that they have
I want the two of them. I want the two of them around.
Yes.
When your people see you together, they see you taking tea or going to court and sitting together, that is one way of sending the peace message to them. Will you be available? Because I would want you and your colleague to just come to court. And I've explained that when the people see you together, you know, at times people fight because they think their leaders are not together. And I would also want to ask the two of you that for the time being, you don't issue press statements against each other. Morara, is that wisdom?
Yes.
Because if they spread the gospel of peace to their people, but they themselves are fighting in the press, people will not take them seriously. So for the time being, and for the sake of Keroka, whatever we have to issue against one another, we suspend it, so that the people see you as united.
My Lord, if you allow me.
Yes, please.
First, I have to thank you for the judgment that you gave.
Thank you.
It was blessed with wisdom that I believe will find itself in the annals of a locust.
Wait a minute, is that coming from Mr. Morara? Is that coming from Mr. Morara? Can I have my glasses? Thank you, Mr. Morara. I appreciate.
For one, at this view,
Yes.
you choose to strike a middle ground from knowing the culture, the diversity of the community that you are passing a judgment against.
Thank you.
My Lord, my prayer is, His Excellency, the governor, my client, is a busy man.
I know.
As at times, I know of people to his
How many phones does he have?
His Excellency, I think, has about only one.
Do you know how many your advocate has? 5. Yes, Mr. Morara.
Yes, my Lord, as the governor is a busy man.
Yes. No, I can dispense with their attorney.
Yes.
I can dispense. But I must also, on the other hand, as I agree to that, I don't know why you had the impression, Mr. Murara, that I was not going to be fair. Why did you have that impression at the beginning? Now you are thanking me after. Well.
Your Lordship,
yes.
as you plan of the elections,
yes.
I would like an interpretation on revenue collection officers
yes.
restricting themselves on their...
To the, yes, and the restriction here now is the boundary that was shown by NLC and IEBC when we visited Keroka. That's the boundary we are going to maintain.
Your Honor, if I may,
yes.
If we go by that direction,
yes.
that one is going to affect the entire judgment. Permit me to say that that is not what the service agreement is providing for. Initially, I'm speaking.
Just a minute, Mr.
Initially, the service agreement had described.
You know, there is service agreement,
yes.
And there are three issues here. Service agreement, which I said it's up to the parties. And then there is the boundary issue, which was marked by IBC and NLC, and all the surveyors from Survey of Kenya. And then there is the issue of revenue collection. Yes. So as for the revenue collection, because I don't want to go against my judgment, let's use the boundary features that were marked when we visited the place.
Your Honor, that one already conflicts the judgment.
Okay, what does the judgment say?
The judgment
talks about the 1992.
We have what you said, Your Lordship,
yes.
that the boundaries were already established as per the visit we made.
Yes.
But pursuant to the issue of revenue allocation or collection, we proceed as per the charter or the service agreement.
Is that what the agreement says?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Is that what the agreement says? Service collection, revenue collection.
Yes. The service agreement, then we go by what they are.
No. Is that what the judgment says?
Yes,
no, that's not what it says.
Your Lordship, we are going back to argue an application which we are saying.
Okay, let me put it this way. Because we want to know the status quo.
There is a status quo, Your Lordship, I told you,
yes.
which is now prevailing on the ground.
Yes.
And we have peace. Let that peace be there. If Mr. Maeche wants to argue his application, Your Lordship, you have given directions. We are going to open another
No. I remember me saying we follow the 1992 Act, which defines the boundaries quite clearly.
Your Lordship, that is what we are going to argue in this application.
The application.
We have said we are not going to argue the application. Let peace be where peace is.
I've made my order.
As now.
Okay, I've made my order. No. Listen, I've made my order that the respective revenue collectors to also continue collecting revenue on their respective jurisdictions. The respective jurisdiction is set by law, not by me, not by what is prevailing today. So we leave it at that. And if we misread our respective clients on the interpretation of that, then we are the problem. We shall be the problem. So we leave it at that. Then, so mention on that yet. I hope you are not going to.
Your Lordship, for avoidance of doubt, and that is very important for peace to prevail in Keroka. For avoidance of doubt, what is the respective jurisdiction of which the revenue collection officers are going to stick to?
The one in the judgment.
Thank you.
The one in the judgment.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
The one in the judgment.
That is what I wanted
so,
to watch.
So we mentioned the matter. We can dispense with their excellencies are not attending. But Your Excellency, Mr. Nyambane, have you established whether your boss is in the office?
No, he's not.
He's not in the. Where is he? Is he within the region?
I was told he's not around.
He's not around.
Yes.
Okay.
I have communicated with His Excellency that information.
Yes.
Okay.
And you have heard His Excellency is not averse to meeting his colleague. He's much more than agreeable. So if they don't meet, I'll blame your boss. True, Mr. Arati? If the two of you don't meet, It's not because of you. It will either be because Mr. Morara advised you otherwise, or because His Excellency Amos Nyaribo refused. But it's good. It's good that the people of the Abagusi community see you acting as one. Who knows? Tomorrow, after your term, you may be the governor of Nyamira, and Honorable Nyaribo is the governor of Kisii after his term. Because you people are cousins and brothers, and you find that you have relatives all over, and you have properties all over. Let me not disclose where they are.
Your Lordship, I'm the official spokesman of
Of the Abagusi.
Yes, therefore, both Nyamira and the Kisii,
Yes.
and I have their interests at heart.
Good. I like that. Do I have the interests of the Abagusi at heart?
Yes,
No. I want His Excellency to answer. Not what you have been told by Mr. Morara. Do I have the interests of the Abagusi at heart?
You don't.
Okay. So, and then you also appreciate the fact that your colleague is older than you, so he has some wisdom also to tap from. Yes, and I would want you people, even as you look at the service agreement, look for the likes, those who are still alive, who are the architects of that service agreement. You also have some people who have been leaders in this place, like Professor Ongeri, and it's a blessing to have such people still alive, to talk to them, to get counseling, and also to bring back, not to bring back because he's still there, to maintain the harmony of the Abagusi community. Thank you.